Good evening, viewers, and welcome to The Price of Fame. My name is Lunga Tshuka, and I'll be your host. Yep, it's going down tonight. So, The Price of Fame is a podcast that focuses on the stories about the journey to success, from the moment of realization of one's purpose or gift. And in these conversations, we aim to shed the light on the hardships, the sacrifices, and the mindsets that our guests have to overcome to achieve the current position in their career. And these are their stories. So tonight's guest, ladies and gentlemen, with over 29 years of experience in the entertainment industry. And I know some of you are only probably 29 tonight, So this man has been acting since the day you were born. You are, and he was like, yeah, winning awards. I was probably 5 years old. But anyways, just to name a couple of his golden hits that he's been doing in his career, you probably seen him on Igoli, Fishy Fashions, Backstage, Isidingo, Silver the Line, Arend's Play, Saint West, and just to name a few. And man, it sounds like this man has only chosen the hits to be on the shows. He's only chosen the hit shows to be on. So he's on The Price of Fame tonight, so I don't know what does that say, I don't know. Maybe this is gonna be each show soon. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome to the screen the legend. He got by the name of Denver Vraagom. Yeah.
I want that music again, man. I want that music again. Play with the music.
I love that track.
It's gorgeous, man. It's gorgeous. Listen, whenever I see or hear your name, do you know a lady by the name of Karika Kiesenkamp?
No.
Well, I just want to sing Lunga Tshuka, yeah.
Now I have to know that song. I need
you have to go search that song, bro.
Please send me the link to that song.
Lunga Tshuka, yeah. Hi, my man.
Yeah, I think I should get that. That should be my new intro, actually. In fact, every time I'm on stage, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lunga Tshuka. Lunga Tshuka,
yeah.
Oh, sounds crazy. Oh, man. Yeah. Good evening, Denver. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, my man. I've got my coffee in hand, so.
Awesome. Yeah.
Chatting to you, so. I'm just covering my painting at the back with my big hair.
Cool. Tell us about the painting. What's going on in the painting?
Well, they're hanging out of the train doors. So that was me at varsity. At varsity. So the trains were forever full in the mornings, and University of Wild Colors, here I come, hanging out of a door.
Yeah, no, it was wild, eh? The things we had to do, to get to the places where we needed to be, and the circumstances and the weather, and it could be really challenging and just a whole episode of its own,
Yeah.
But man, it's a pleasure to have you here tonight on The Price of Fame, and like just mentioning some of the hits that you've been doing, we basically grew up watching you, on TV, and like it's such an honor to like have the opportunity to speak to you, and like get to know the true side and like the real side of you behind the scenes, and I mean, like we see so many of these characters that you've played so well, and now just get the true self, how do you play yourself so well. So like we try to get into a real life story. Well, let's get into how's 2021 been started. Like how did the year start out for you?
Well, it started off well. Sorry, I think I just pressed the button here. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's my hair, man. It's filling my ear. So keeps on popping up the bloody buds. Listen, no. 2021 started off slowly, which was nice because it was with the family. We were reuniting after me and the eldest one being in Cape Town for 17 months, and Ingrid just coming down last year to pop little Hannah. And she came back May of last year to resume directing and acting on Seven the Line. So I was an executive stay-at-home dad, writing and doing my thing from home, recording voices and stuff for ads and stuff. So yeah, it's been a glorious year so far, except for the operation that I had recently. But that's a story for another time. Because
Yeah.
whenever I farted, the dogs think I was whistling at them. So I had to remove that that tennis ball, you know. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but it's slowly falling into place again. I'm working behind the microphone constantly. I'm directing actors behind the microphone for radio dramas, and yeah, I've
Yeah,
done a bit of
let's
acting as well. I
let's
forgot about that. I forgot about that. I
yeah.
shot a movie that will be screened. That will be screened in June. Yeah,
Lovely. What's the name of the movie's name? What's the name of the movie?
it's called The Christmas Box. It was written by Christo David and directed by Andre Feltz. And it's on the Flicknets and the Cape Nets somewhere in June. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, guys. Please look out for it because I'm sure it's going to be an amazing movie. Like I said, this man has only touched gold and he's only been part of gold hit shows. So you best believe that this is going to be worth your time and with your family's time. So get the whole bunch out and support Denver on his journey. Let's speak a little bit about your transformation, because like I know you as an actor. A lot of people probably only know you as an actor. In the industry, they will know you so differently as a director and a writer. So what did it start out first for you, and how did you progress to that? Did you start as all of these things at first, or did you, on the way on your journey, you're like, what, let me try a little bit of this. Let me add this to this.
You know, our industry is so diverse that you have to teach yourself the other sides of things as well. You know what I mean? Not just the acting. The acting started at a fairly young age. Um, those years standard for 1984. What was that? Grade six. I think I was Mickey Mouse. Yeah, yeah. I think I was a Mickey Mouse walking the streets, and I did a small play at school, and then and Mossel Bay came in 1985 when I lived with my grandma, and then 86 when I moved back to my parents. Um, it actually started with the legends like Sean Arnold, June van Merch, and all those people, at the Vraagom Theatre in Stellenbosch, where acting was my main thing. Above and beyond my gymnastics and my athletics, I did. The heart was set already, which I didn't know. I only realized it when I sort of got to varsity and I was studying human movement studies, which is like physical education and stuff. And I just said, I realized, you know what? I'm going to become a teacher or the Stormers masseuse. So no, that's not me. I want to. This is what I want to do. So I started freelancing in 1992 actually, where I worked for the Bregel Theatre touring with puppet shows and children's shows. And then 93, my big break came with the legends like Tuli Cormier and people like Glenn Swart and them doing Roald Dahl's The Big Friendly Giant, directed by Fred Abramson. And it just went on from there onwards. So then the love for the cameras came, and I started floor managing and assistant directing on comedies, which is my forte. Um, so I started assisting directors on that and learning multicam and stuff like that. And yeah, and the writing, I'm not a good writer. I always keep telling me that because that's something that I'm working on at the moment. I'm not a good writer. I can adapt things, I can write short ads, but don't ask me to write a play or a movie. Um,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So that also came along the route of discovering myself and what I want to be, where I want to go with this now, um, and just loving what I'm doing. I love what I do, and nowadays people look at me when I say it's not about the money anymore. Now I'm feeding my soul. I'm 49 years old. I'm 49 years old. Um, the money will come once the love is shown for the product that I'm working on.
Sure.
So that's not my haste. My family is quite important to me at the moment. That's my
Yes.
most important thing. But I'm jumping now and I'm running between trees now. But uh, the love for things came along the route of seeing new things, Oh, oh, editing, or oh, cameras, Oh, lights. So all those things I started adding, um, and especially when I started directing at Sevendelang, I discovered new things. I discovered a new me. Um, uh, because this is such a wide industry.
Yeah.
I can't just stick to one thing. And like I said, I need to feed the soul. So I feed the soul in different ways. Uh, like radio, for instance, there's a different feed there. Directing radio dramas, there's a different feed there. The same with my acting. It's like taking on new characters all the time. Um,
Yeah.
and try and develop myself, because that's a journey on its own. It's developing myself, until
Yes.
I can't anymore. It's an exercise that needs to be followed, like going to gym. You need to exercise that tool every day, and
Mind,
now,
mind, body,
yeah, and
mind, body, soul.
yeah, exactly. Like, this is not playing with at the moment, so I'm not going to show you that. So, but and especially now again, being behind the microphone, dubbing another character, it's a completely different journey than just jumping on stage playing a character, or getting in front of a camera and playing a character, you know. And also, with the directing as well, it's another emotion running there, to
Yeah.
guide. I'm not. I also say I'm not a director. I'm here to guide you. You bring the flow. I'm just gonna say, listen, I think go that route, go that route. So I'm not gonna say and push down my thing and say, Lunga, I want you to please walk 5 steps left.
Yeah.
There's your camera. No. It's a journey to be explored. Yeah.
Absolutely. And like you
Mhm.
said that, mentioned that you started in 84. Wow. How old were you when you started? How old was that?
Well, how old are you when you're in standard four? I went to school late, so 7. Um, Now I must count. 7, 8 plus 4. I was 10.
Perfect for Mickey Mouse, eh? Perfect role for the Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
And
yeah. And then,
like in your life, can you take a piece out, somewhere in the beginning, or anywhere, like in your journey, where you felt like it was maybe a magical year, maybe Michael Jackson, like who was hot and popping at the time? For example, like that's the time when Michael Jackson came to SA, and that's the time when you first saw Hugh Masekela, or this was a huge highlight in your career. Is there one year or a moment like that where you'll be like, wow, there was one magical moment where I shared the stage and these people were popping, and who was actually like the popular guys around at the time?
oh my goodness, I don't know. You know what? I was living on a farm. I was living with my uncle, and I was I was so caught up with radio and radio dramas that there was a lot of pine trees and a lot of pine needles on this farm where we lived. So in the afternoons after school, I would take a little FMP with a 5 or 9 p.m. battery and go lie on
Yeah,
those pine needles and listen to radio dramas while I'm doing my homework. Major things that happened. Oh, you see, that's a difficult thing because I was on such a journey with myself and and trying to steer clear from what's happening around me, um,
mm,
like the alcoholism, the drugs, the whatever. That I did a lot of sports. I played soccer. I did gymnastics. I did athletics. I even tried rugby at some stage. Um, and and my theater, my drama. So I kept myself busy with those things, not thinking what I had my days, with thinking, oh, one day I want to be like that. And then it would go again. Come on, let me try that. Let me try that. But my life was sort of given to me by the things I was doing at that moment. Obviously, a lot of music happened around me, but nothing. As you can see with my hair, I'm an old school soul, So that's the music that I've traveled with. I'm quite eclectic. I listen to a wide range of music, but my old school and my stuff where you can still hear the lyrics, that's my kind of music, you know. So I never had specifics. I always looked up to people like the late Sean Arnold, like Duncan Johnson and Jim van Merch and those people. I had a mentor when I reached standard 6, grade 8, called Dr. Ben de Hack. And when I started at the Vraagom Theatre, that was my mission. Uh, I wanna purify this what I'm doing. I wanna clean it up. I need to see through that glass, you know, uh, to see myself and see why am I doing this. But no specifics. Everything happened around me. The Michael Jacksons, the Lionel Richies, those things happened around me. Um, no live concerts. I remember going clubbing after soccer games. We had the matinees. So I would go to matinees and hip hop, hip hop, alles with a hop, skip and a jump, and flick flack. Yeah, so I would still train to Cape Town, and we would go to the base and places like those. So those are the things that I explored in my day. So and now looking back at that, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you've mentioned the bass. I've heard about this name a few times. It's obviously before my time, but I think DJ Easy brought it up. I think DJ Easy played at
Oh,
bass. Lady
oh,
D, I'm sure you used to know all like POC, all of those guys.
POC.
So you were there, you were partying, and you were like, yeah, being alive and being
I
part of
was
that vibe.
there.
Oh,
I
okay,
was
okay.
there. I was there, my
That-
man. I was there.
Oh, that's
Yeah, the
dope.
galaxies of those days.
Because I was wondering,
Mm,
like, I mean, like in your time when you were like doing your thing, actually, like you were saying, you're busy. As I'm listening to you, you're constantly developing yourself, trying new
yeah,
things, on a new journey. It's all about just developing what the best you can really get, the best version you can
yeah,
be out of yourself. And that is such an amazing thing, to be started like that as a young kid, because
yeah,
like a lot of us coming from areas where we come from, we face challenges like gangsterism, drug abuse,
yeah,
and so many other peer pressure things, but you said you kept yourself busy. Can you please
yeah.
describe to us what your place looked like, your area where you grew up? What did it look like, and what was the challenges in your area? We know now that you kept yourself busy with being in
Yeah.
sports and gymnastics, but
Mm.
can you tell us what it looked like around the house? So if you weren't so busy, what kind of person would you have turned
Yes.
out according
Oh,
to influences?
we were a beautiful group of friends. Once we moved up out of the two-roomed house in Cluttersville up to the flats, uh, I had lots of friends living in the flat. So we would create um, an athletics in our mind, an athletics track, and we measured that around the flat. So we would have races around the flat. We had a tart section where we painted a tennis court, where we would put up we would use these onion nets that they put the onions and things in,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
make our own net. We
That's a
would take
lot of
the
opinions.
Oh, bruh. I remember getting a telephone, a toy telephone as present, and I would lead it up to my friend's flat. And we would phone each other. We were in the same class. Neville, I don't know the answer to this, my bro. Help. So that's what we did. There was a school next to us, um, and we would make little holes, and we would challenge other areas in Klippersville, Stellenbosch for cricket matches. We were asphalt speel, my bro. We played outside. We climbed trees. Now the flats were built on an old graveyard. So there were lots of trees and stuff. So we would build little houses out of what's a bloekomboom again? But you know what? And we would climb trees. We would play cricket. We would. I remember Roger Telemarcus, the Proteas player. I used to
Yeah.
play against him, and he bowled me with a tennis ball that had a blue mark for 2 days. Well, three.
Ooh,
So
with a tennis
I
ball.
imagine a tennis ball already. So
God, that's
so
hard.
that's
That's cool.
yeah, no, with a tennis ball, my bro. So we had lots of fun. We went up to a place called Sukmakar, which was like a wooded area as well, like a picnic kind of vibe. We would make holes at ends of this play, and we would play golf. So that's how we kept busy, um, with our schoolwork intact, and phoning Neville for homework. So growing up in that flat, and at some stage I had to move because we had financial difficulties. I moved in with my uncle in Flat for a term, and then to Mossel Bay, where I lived with my grandma for a year in 1985. And there I discovered, for instance, that I can do high jump. And I was a high jumper at high school. I did hurdles. So that's how I discovered myself. And in playing cricket, we would cut out cardboard as pads, and for our cricket pads. Fun,
Yeah,
fun. We had fun. Like Kenny, we did all those kiddie things. Not me.
yeah.
None of that. None
That
of that.
sounds so amazing, man. And it sounds good that, like, it really sounds like you guys actually keep yourself busy and away from all
We
of those
knew
things.
how to. We knew how to. Look,
Yeah.
we had our stout beer at some point, or having a beer at 15 was like, oh, go home, bruh.
Yeah.
Just one. Go. So yeah. That's what we explored. We had fun. We had fun.
One thing I love about playing outside as a kid was that most of the times you needed to create things, like you said, you use cardboard boxes for like for like
Cricket
pads.
bats.
You probably cut out wood and to make a cricket bat, and you made a kettle from wood and all of those things,
Oh,
Ken, and
how?
all of those things. You used your imagination, you needed to use your imagination. And I feel like as an artist, imagination, is something that is like the essence of your creation, When you want to create something, you need an imagination. So do you feel like your childhood and all of the things that you used to do as a child, do you think that added to your imagination and your creativity now as a professional?
Oh, absolutely. And especially with my kid shows. Look, I started doing children's theater at a young age, so my kids are very important to me. They are our next generation. So the kind of shows that I've done, like children's theater, puppet shows, that I still use. That I still use. Words and numbers wouldn't happen if I go back to being a 12-year-old or a 9-year-old, for all I care. And doing a science show back in the day for SABC3. Oh, the explosions, the things that excited me as a kid just came
Exactly.
back. Just came back, and it came easy. I remember I was sending somebody a WhatsApp this morning because I was listening to a show, and I remember doing the introduction of instruments for the Cape Philharmonic Orchestra. I think it was around 94, 95, with the Cape Philharmonic, where I got to introduce instruments to kids. And that's
Yeah.
when I started learning about instruments. Um,
Yeah.
Not that I can play any of them, but those kinds of things stay with me.
Yes.
And especially now having an autistic 16-year-old, to create little things around the house to keep her busy, little explosive thingies and what. Yeah, no, it sits. My wife always tells me I'm the eldest in the house, eldest kid in the house. So let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Denver. Um, sorry, you still want to say something?
No, 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 no. I'm
Oh,
listening to you.
So like I know there was a part of your career where you were basically acting a part in, you know? Please, can you paint the picture of the industry? What was it like that time, with doing your acting? Well, I know there has obviously been some challenges, obviously because being a person of color. But can you explain to us what the opportunities were like back then versus right now?
Look, it was all about talent.
Okay.
We didn't see color. It was all about talent in those days. If
Yeah.
you fit the part, if you look the well, not look the part, and there she goes. There's my little terrorist. Uh, so, so if you look the part, it was all about the talent that you brought to that audition. The changes came obviously in '94 when the arts, like K-Pab and Pact and all those Maypac, just went. It left our surface. Our
Yeah.
theaters became white elephants, but it was picked up again. Certain theaters are still standing empty, not just because of COVID, but what happened in the past. So people started thinking out of the box, creating their own little theaters, making their own little shows, and you, like I said, there was, we didn't see color at all.
Yeah.
I didn't see color. I never, I came in, when I came into the industry, it was just fun that we had. We created without seeing color. You know, there were challenges like getting from one place to another with your combi breaking down 4,000 kilometers before you get there. But we never saw color. I never saw color. Um,
Yeah.
it was just pure talent and hard work, exercising every day, exercising that talent.
That's good to know because, like, I would say hip hop, I've learned in hip hop, it's the same kind of thing. Like, since the beginning of hip hop, there's never been a thing of like, you black or you Asian or whatever. It's all about the
None
talent,
of that.
In that it was what connected us from inside. It was how you express yourself. And if you're
Yes,
good, you,
yes.
I don't care where you come from, I don't care what you, but if you're good. So I can relate to that understanding, because like I said, within hip hop, it's purely like that.
Oh
So it's
no,
good to know
yeah.
in acting, it was also like that. If you were good, you were good. And if I think back, if I think about like Joe Mafela and all of those
Oh
shows,
man,
and I mean, they were on TV as well, just as much as anyone
exactly.
else. So it wasn't like, oh, it was dark ages for the black or the colored people. No,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there
We
was
were
a platform.
working. Yes, we were working. We were working, and
Yeah,
sharing stages with so many different color people was
yeah,
amazing. It was amazing. We oh, he's that character. Oh,
yeah.
Lunga, you playing Cleopatra, my bro. you know, they came to
Yeah,
see the character, and we just worked and enjoyed each
mm,
other.
nice. And I'm sure your family was very supportive about your journey, from the word go, because it sounded like you've just been keeping yourself busy. And I mean, it's positive things that you've been keeping yourself busy, things that's got to do with your health and discipline and all of that, and also that
Yeah.
keeps you busy, not, I mean, being
Well,
vulnerable to any of those challenges. Did your parents always
yeah,
support your journey, or was it a battle that you needed to have with them?
it wasn't. I think they enjoyed me giving them free tickets to the theater shows, but
Only the perks,
I
only
think
the perks.
I think my mom really enjoyed it. My dad was sort of, oh, he's doing this now. Oh, it's you. Oh, it's that. Okay. But my mom was really into it. She really, and when she passed, uh, it was quite tough. When was it? 2013. I can't remember what I was, but I was busy with the show, and it was just tough when she passed on. And
Yeah.
my sister
So
in '95, when I did Julius, was it Julius Caesar or something? But we toured with another show for, and I was on my way to Grahamstown, and my sister passed on just before I had to go. So I had those challenges as well, and it brought with it, uh, like they say in Afrikaans, sewe sakke sout. If it wasn't more than 7 bags of salt, it was a lot that I had to run with since '95. Um, I became a binge drinker. Uh, you know, I never uh, thought about my own emotions. It was always characters and things, but I forgot about myself. And it's only about 3 years ago when I rediscovered myself, and I'm sober now, just over 37 months, and yeah, living a clean life, and just living with a family.
respect that.
Ariman,
I
Araman, Ara.
and
So,
I mean that is so true, like actually I was gonna get to that, because I know a lot of times, like I brought this up with my other guests as well, a lot of times that viewers don't always get to see like the full story, or they get to see like what you're going through, all of that, they only get to see sometimes the highlights, and they don't
mm,
understand what brought you to that, and they don't understand
yeah,
what has brought you away from that. Sometimes people can be like, oh, this one is quiet, but they're not knowing that someone could be going through something really, really difficult. You've
yeah,
just mentioned that it was really difficult for you losing your mother, and because she used, like you said, she used to be like very, very supportive, and she
mm,
used to get
yeah,
so excited, and she was probably like your number one fan,
yeah, yeah.
and you losing her physically in the physical world. How did that impact your acting, or how did that impact your career? Did that make you feel like you've lost a part of yourself and now you don't know how to get back out there, or was it just so painful that you couldn't actually do the acting? You just needed to take a break and just I don't know.
I kept on that, but that was my escape. That was my escape. My work was my escape. The same with my sister in '95. Uh, it just happened so quickly after each other. '95, my sister, 2013, my mom, a year later, her two brothers, a month apart, and then her sister, 10 minutes before my show opened in Stellenbosch. It was horrific. And in
Yeah,
the meantime, I've got the show must go on. And
yeah,
and at some stage it just hit me. No, because I was isolating myself when I'm not working. I would
yeah,
I would I would I would just isolate myself in a book, watching TV.
yeah,
It's, just no. Uh, there's that side of me where it was, the two faces of the theater, the smiley
yeah.
and the sad face.
It's a
I was
smiley one.
literally living that. I was
Yeah.
literally living that. When I'm at home as a sad one, but when I'm out there, yeah,
And I mean, you never really took some time out for yourself to process, what was happening. Like you said, you kept on going. At the same time, when you're supposed to rest, you're overthinking about what's happening, and then you don't even have time to like get that out of the way. Then you have action again, back on screen again.
yes,
So yeah, I
yes,
understand that. I mean, especially what you're saying with so many people like after each other, and like even just before the show, that could really, really be something that someone would really need to take some time,
yeah,
to like.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
know you were
But,
really
but
hard work. You probably thought that maybe keeping yourself busy is the best thing to do, in that time, because you're
absolutely,
like, I want to sit and I don't want to
absolutely,
down. So let me rather be busy. Let me rather be busy, and then only learned
yeah.
afterwards you actually needed to take
I,
some break.
I, I think it was after Igoli that I literally took a break. I was doing Igoli and I moved back to Cape Town. I was surrounded by beautiful friends. I was just reminded here by Billy Chapman. Sonneblom, say no more. Hello, Billy. So yeah, I had a wonderful support structure away from the theater because I started doing food and beverage again. Working restaurants and maitre d' and stuff like that, just to clean the mind. and
Yeah.
and and I think it was I still did a lot of radio and a lot of voice work, but I steered clear from television. I did a bit of television, now and then, just cameo bits, um, but I steered clear from theater. I steered clear from certain things, and yeah, I sort of started looking after myself, and then I came back to Johannesburg in 2003, sort of full time, met the wife, had children, well, one child. The other one came 15 years later. I'll be 55 when she goes to school. But so, so, so all those things, then suddenly I'm away from Cape Town. Well, what's happening here, And then it was just work, 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 work. Um, Hello, beautiful. How are you? What's for dinner? Sleep. Um, So there wasn't really time, and especially having an autistic daughter, there wasn't really time to feel and to see what's going on in here. It was it just flatlined at some point. So there was no rhythm in my life, I would say, and that is quite important to me to have that kind of rhythm in my life where I get to say, today it's this, today it's that. Oh no, tomorrow, no, then but take a break, and I've learned that overthinking is really a bad habit. I stopped overthinking in this process of mine now. It's that if you see something and it will work, try it. Don't overthink it. Try it.
Yeah.
And and the changes that came, oh, they were beautiful, Lunga. They were beautiful. I see in color again. You know what I mean? In the past, it was just black and white and gray. Now I'm seeing in color.
So that's like really amazing. And much love and respect for you for picking it all up again, and being strong again. And like just becoming a strong actor and even becoming even stronger than you were before. So
Oh
much love
yeah,
and
yeah.
respect. Really, really. I mean, that story is very, very inspirational. And I'm sure those who are probably facing something difficult can take something from what you shared with us today. Um,
Oh, absolutely. And my inbox is open if they want to. I'm not there to give advice. I'm there to listen. That's the one. I'm not there to give advice. I'm there to listen. So please feel free to
absolutely.
inbox me or DM me, and you know.
Yeah. Free guys, this is why we create the price of fame so that we can share real life stories like this. So that people feel like they are, feel like they're going through a difficult time. Just to hear that other people have been through also difficult time. We push through, and it's not easy. It's not easy. We human, feel things, mistakes, world. And with your acting, have you ever experienced like, I don't know, sometimes when people believe character on TV, they someone want to call you that character and
Oh,
and
let's
then they want
not
to ask
go there.
how for me, gaat jy nou veetrou? Ask
Oh, there's a
questions about
couple there.
character and all that stuff.
Oh,
Please,
brother.
please, some juicy ones
That's
with us. Oh, wait to hear about them. What
oh
people
my goodness, there. Why did you want to stab Nena with a knife? An auntie plucked off. An auntie plucked off. You remember those cheesecloth shirts
Yeah,
with the little laces in here? She pulled up my
yeah.
whole sleeve. And I mean, well, she immediately bought me another shirt. But and this was in Mitchell's Plain. Daar soos sy die moeilikheid te byvoorbeeld.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then the whole story with the house burning in say Worcester, they like parties like as I gemors. So no, I've had my days. I had my days with those, yeah. And it's always the baddies that gets the attention. I remember
Yeah,
his
yeah, yeah,
dingo,
yeah.
where
Like
when
why?
when I, oh dear, oh dear. I remember when I kidnapped Maurice's and Kevin Smith characters in his dingo. Oh my word! Take yo,
Oh, that is. Oh, okay. This is crazy because I had Maurice as a guest on my show once, right? And we also spoke about this kind of thing where people, take it seriously that you may be injured in real life, but it's just your character.
yeah.
And we spoke about him being kidnapped, and he actually said people went on his social media and they were trying to send support and everything, and like, oh, want to call the cops and everything. They really thought he was kidnapped. And yeah, you are kidnapped. Do something.
It's me. Oh no, it was me. And but with that also, comes social bullying, social media bullying, which my wife went through recently. Um, and that's what we try and avoid nowadays. Sorry, my one ear went too much ahead. um, so, my bola.
Put it behind.
So,
It's behind.
so with that came the social bullying and things, and you endure it for a certain period of time, like my wife, and then she opened up. She's been on Seven Land for 21 years, and finally she decided to open her mouth about it, and yeah. So people must just take care about that. The way they comment on certain things is how you comment and who
Absolutely.
you commented to.
Absolutely. No, I'm glad you brought that up because just not too long ago, a fellow comedian of mine, Carl Weber,
Mm,
he just did this movie now. I forgot what's the name of it, but it's about this gangster. It's on Showmax. I feel so terrible for forgetting the name. But
yeah,
he did this movie. He acted like a gangster. I didn't watch the movie, but judging by the comment, this lady, she's like, "How could you do this? This?" And she went to his wife, and she in like, "Is that your husband playing this, and that? How could he speak like that?" Blah blah blah. And I don't know what. There's a part that's blurred out, and then she
yeah,
went to go speak about the wife's late parents. Even commenting like, "Yeah, your parents are probably turning in their grave." You see, like I'm bringing on the point of like where they don't watch what we say,
yeah,
and she's so offensive, and ba 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 ba.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
guys. Like it's
No,
2021. Are we still like associating the character with a real
yeah,
actor, with a real person in your life,
yeah.
and we're still like carrying on our feelings? Really, guys?
It's
And like
it's really it's
people should
really
watch.
amazing when you yeah. It's really amazing. They feel that you in their lounge. You see, that's the thing. And they, yo, brother, it's like I know you forever, man. Kind of vibe, and which is gorgeous, which is lovely. But
Yes,
certain things should be said
yes.
in a more precarious way, So
I think people
yeah,
should always remember that it's an art. People say action, and that's when you do your art. And when they say
you're
cut,
gone.
you go home to your family. You're not that gangster or you're whatever. So people should remember that.
Absolutely.
I hope that this video gets out to those people who are always confusing and actually disrespecting our artists, because it's not cool and it really should come to an end because it's really not cool. I get
Yeah,
the
yeah,
part of be super invested. I get that. You love it. But now also remember that we're just acting. It's just a
stick
job.
stick to the giving the character a compliment, or not bad mouthing it, but saying, nah, man, I don't like this. But
Yeah,
keep the actor's name out of your mouth or
exactly.
from
Yeah,
your social media or papers.
yeah. I always take it like I told Paul, I commented there, I was like, bro, you must have been really doing a really good job at this character, playing this character. If this lady was so convinced that you are this person, after seeing you as a comedian and now she's gonna see you as this, and it's like, no, 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 no. You must. job, eh? I actually applaud you.
Yeah.
She goes,
And then he goes, you need the 10 commandments. And then I would say, and you need a hand sanitizer and a mask.
uh, uh, all right. So can you tell us a little bit about your mentors? Who are some of the people who have helped you along the way with your acting and just in different fields? Like you maybe when you branched out to directing, was there someone who showed you the
Yeah.
road? And are you currently a mentor to anyone?
Well, I get messages and I try and help the youngsters that come to me and say, Denver, I've studied this, I want to do this. What do I do? So I would give them that kind of advice. But I had amazing mentors. Obviously the teachers at school that uh, ignited this fire. It started there. But when I joined the Bregel Theatre in '88, sort of full time as an amateur, I had people like Sean Arnold, late Sean Arnold, Duncan Johnson, June van Meer, Dr. Ben de Hack. I toured the country, believe it or not, every year of my school year in high school. So I went to different provinces with drama competitions and stuff. So there I also picked up, people that I've connected with. And then when I moved to the sitcom side of things, I had people like uh, on stage. Let's start at the stage in '93. I had people like Fred Abrams, Mark Graham, all those wonderful directors, Nicholas Ellenbogen. Um, I can name so many, Lunga. I can name so many. Then when I moved to the sitcom side of things, Mark Graham once again, people like Andre Odendaal, who I got to 84, and my acting, I would always phone up people and say, listen, I need advice on this. But I had wonderful stage directors, especially after the changes came, with the independent theater shows and stuff like Henry Mulm. Not only on stage, he was also my mentor moving on to multicam drama and daily soap. So yeah, no, there are so many. I to name but a few. Um, yeah, each and every actor is sort of a mentor to me because I pick up things and I would think, okay, next time I'm gonna approach it like that. Like I said, you're never too old to learn, So I pick up things still every day. I especially in my research and visiting places.
Yeah.
Um, I pick up so many things, and even where's that little drunk Teletubby? Oh, there she is. Um, when if you allow yourself open to be taught, you can do so many things. You know, it,
True.
it's not about you know. Let's take it to self love and self respect without being selfish. You can't love and respect other people if you don't love and respect yourself. So that's the
That's
kind of vibe that I'm going into or with into my new life and approaching things. Like I said, I don't want to name anybody, but the whole industry. But even now, radio. I've got Cobus Burger. When I started out as a radio actor, I had the late Margot Late. I had the late Evert Snyman, uh, Brian O'Shaughnessy, all those SAFM RSG directors.
yeah.
I got to explore, and now the other day I had to direct a group of actors that seen this world longer than I have seen it and this industry. And me walking in there like, am I directing these names? You must be kidding me.
Yeah.
Okay, let me take them some tea and cookies and goodies, just say hello. But I've acted with them, but then to direct them, it's
Mm,
completely different. And we talk names here like Louis van Niekerk, Rina Ninaber, Toby Cronier, Elspeth Zixman, to name but a few. So yeah. Mm.
that's very interesting that you actually brought that up, like um to act alongside the big guns or people that you admire, to act alongside them on the same thing is easy. You can blend in, you can do that. But to direct
Yeah.
them is a different story. Why would you feel
What do
that way?
you tell these people?
It's like,
What don't they know?
can you do that again, please? I don't know. But if you want to,
Listen, yeah, just can we try that again? you know,
but if you want,
the
if you
good
want to,
the good thing is we won't be in here for longer than 2 hours
yeah,
because of the names and their professionalism and their talent, their great talent. It's amazing. And I always tell the youngsters, go and stand in front of a wall and talk. Say a few lines. Listen to yourself. If you
yeah,
hear yourself, because it's it's always about reacting. It's not about acting. It's about reacting and listening.
yeah.
Yeah.
See this
Yeah.
reacting.
That's reacting. Yeah. So, gangster, where you going? Huh? Come say hello. Come say hello. Come say hello to the people.
Let's
Say
see the little one.
hello, people.
Let's see the little.
There's little Hannah. Say hello. Oh, it's no time for that now, Uncle. No time for that.
She was
So,
like, oh, who's that?
where's it coming from? It's
Nah,
not Thomas the Train.
who's that guy now? All right,
Yeah,
Denver.
so that's my treasure now at the moment. These two. Ah, no, there goes an ear again. Here we go. I'm back.
That's why. That's why.
My quarter is the claim, man.
Yeah. Maybe must tuck it in there. Maybe because
Yeah,
you took
you
it. All right, so
I don't
Denver,
know.
it brings me down to my final question for you tonight. And thank you so much for sharing your journey and your story and also your moment of strength. Thank you so much.
Oh,
And
absolutely,
I want
man.
to and commend you for like doing what you're doing, and being strong and even having a new and better approach to life like that. And always believing in yourself, and that's just and reinventing yourself. That's awesome. Um, I love the fact that you're always doing that. That's super cool. Like I feel like if I see you in 2 years' time, it's gonna be a different version of you, or just even better
Oh,
than you are now.
he'll have a
So
he'll have a
awesome.
6-pack.
Yeah. So taking it back to the very, very young Denver, when you probably just started out with acting or when the bug just bit you, you never knew exactly how your journey would be. And walking there, having walked the journey that you've walked now and the person that you are now today, I'd like to take you back in a time machine to that very young Denver. And you have one piece of advice for him. What would it be?
Don't ever stop believing in yourself. Take the route. You will have your ups and downs. Life is like a yo-yo, a sand truck. Sand truck is full, sand truck is empty. And that's the same with life, A yo-yo goes up and down. Uh, take it as it comes. Uh, it, as part of my other journey in my sobriety, we've got a thing saying people, places, and things. Those are the three things that I would suggest for people out there. Who you surround you with, where you are, and what you're doing.
Mm.
So I wouldn't do things differently. I've learned from it. So now it's just another route that I'm taking, still with its battles, still with its tree trunk lying across the road, still with a railway line that you have to cross. But you've got booms to keep you safe. You've got stop streets. You've got stop signs to tell you, listen. You've got an amber light to warn you to say, oh, not now, brother. Hold up, hold up. And everything takes time, but it's your time. It's your time. Nobody else's time. So yeah, Yo, that was deep. Did that come from my mouth?
It came from your soul. It came from your soul. That's
No.
good. It's good. And it's a really,
Yeah.
really good piece of advice. And it's really something, if I heard that as a kid, that would sink in with me, Just because
Mm.
you're straight to the point. Believe in yourself. Everything takes time. The road is gonna be might look scary, but there are things along the way that's gonna help you and gonna say, slow down, you're going a bit too fast. So yeah, and that's so true. That is so, so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And just the way you picked and just the way you painted it, actually, like you can actually see the road, like literally see the
Yeah.
journey,
You
and
know.
that's probably from creativity, from your imagination. Yeah. I see it's always there. It's always there. The magic is always there.
Always there, my friend. And that's
In-
the one thing that I want to keep alive. That's the one thing that I want to keep alive for my kids, for my family, the people out there, is to bring that kind of light, uh, little halo for themselves, not me. It's nothing about me, for them.
yeah, the magic is within you, and you're just trying to teach them how to see that. There's amazing. Because you've
Yeah,
seen it
yeah.
yourself, and you figured it out. Basically, that's
Yes,
where it comes.
yes, yeah. A little person. Mm.
Amazing stuff. Thank you so much for being a guest on the Price of Pain. Once again, you've been, and I really, really appreciate having you. And like I said, it's amazing to see you on the screen and now to have like a proper, real conversation with you, even though it's through the phone like this. But I mean,
Yeah,
felt your energy and you came through and you shared with us a big part of you, which we all appreciate. So thank you so much for. Is there anything else that you'd like to say?
I just want to say thank you to you and Saskia for having me and allowing me uh, to do this journey with you guys,
Yeah,
and also overcoming those little trunks, those little, what do I say? How do I say it? There was no stopping it, was just flowing. So,
hurdles, hurdles.
yeah, yeah. Thank you for having me on your show. I really appreciate it.
One love, brother. One love. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please support Denver Vraagom. He is an amazing person. And as you can hear this story, he's constantly evolving, constantly reinventing himself. Now, that is one mindset that I've learned about when going into entrepreneurship. So you know you're dealing with a legend. So, ladies and gentlemen, please keep an eye on him. And like I said, within 2 years' time, you're going to see a different version of him. So keep an eye. Watch this guy. He keeps on changing and he keeps on building. You want to see that six pack? Please follow him on social media. And if you said it, you said it. Please follow him on his social media platform. Denver, may you have a lovely evening. Thank you very much. Good night, brother.
Thank you so much for having me, man. Cheers, everybody.
All right. Thank you very much, viewers, for tuning in to another episode of The Price of Fame. Thank you so much for all of those who keep on tuning in, those who comment and share, and are always just so supportive. We really, really appreciate you. It means so much to the growth of the brand and the growth of the show. For those of you who are not following me just yet, please do so. You can catch me on Facebook at Lunga Tshuka, the Energizer Funny. That is Lunga Tshuka, the Energizer Funny. And also there on that page, you will only not only see that the Price of Fame content, you also see that my comedy shows are coming up. So this Thursday I have a comedy show and I have some comedy shows coming up next week as well. So I'd like to see you guys there. Come up, say hi, tell me what you think. Don't tell me about my show. I'll kick you. I'll kick you. Please support me on also my Instagram page. That is at Lunga Tshuka, no underscores because we don't need it. That is at Lunga Tshuka. And also you can catch me on YouTube at Lunga Tshuka. Watch this episode again, share it with other people who haven't shared, like and subscribe. That is it from me. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. My name is Lunga Tshuka. I've been your host. Good night.